Yo, I figured the last few weeks have been pretty cookie cutter, and not only do I really want to stop the series from drying up, but I also really don't want to get bored. So I figured this week we'll try something a little bit different. Last week we found the GPSU in Raid, so we got Intel 3, which along with other buffs really cuts into the scav timer down to just over 6 minutes per run. I realized I was finding a decent amount of Bitcoin in scav runs early white, but the majority of them have been from PMC lately. So this week I want to run scav only the whole week and see if it's really just a small sample size and I just need a different perspective, or if Streets is really that overrun, oversaturated with players who know where all the goods are. You'll notice I'm currently spending all my money on GPUs to finish at the farm and as well as fuel to clean up my Rouble stash. I want to start from zero so my cash stack at the end of the week is really a clear representation of how much profit we made as a scav this week. I should also mention before we get started that I did get 6 more Bitcoin in the time it took me to edit the last video before I even recorded these clips, so that'll be numbers 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74. I guess it's about time to send a scav run now. So for the first day or two, even if I'm already full, I'm probably going to go around and hit all the free rare spawns, as long as it sounds safe enough and it's not too hot. But if I'm not full and I don't have a Bitcoin, I'm just going to go and hit drawers and fill up every slot that I can before I leave. I wouldn't be surprised if we have multiple scav runs that rake in, 1 to 2 mil. But as I was saying before, I wouldn't really expect to find that many Bitcoin on these scav runs. Even though player scavs spawn in really early on Streets, with how many players there are in each raid, even if like half of them are loot running and the other half are questing, every single spawn will probably be checked before we even spawn in a raid. I wouldn't be surprised if 80 or 90% of my Bitcoin this week comes from the GPU farm. This is probably what the rest of the clips in the video are going to look like. It's just going to be a lot of me covering loot and selling off that loot. The main purpose of this video is to show how much I'm not going to be getting all those free rare spawns, but also I'll showcase a little bit of how you can make money on Streets even if you can't get all the best spawns. Because there's definitely a lot of money to be made on this map. No matter how many people spawn on it, you can always find a good 300-400k even as a solo scav. Not a scav. Okay. Yeah. Good night. See you. Huh? No, it didn't fly long enough. No. God damn. Bro actually just got saved by the malfunction. Got blessed with this dude's kit and a decent bit of loot here. Drawers paid out even though the rares didn't. I finished with, this is probably under a mil. Like 500k from the card and the intel. Ooh. Alright, so before we get too deep into the idea that I have here, I should probably cover a full run to just show you all the free spots that I'm checking on at Scav. And this is really one of the best spots to do it from, because first you just come back here and check for the key. And then after you check for the key on the pegboard here right between the escalators, you just hit the dead scav. And then I go and run the tunnels all the way over to Beluga. So once you kick down the door here, you're going to check the stairs, see if there's anybody looking for you, and then you just go straight into the room in the back. And then here you just walk and hover loot the cushions. There's like 3 or 4 spawns along the cushions, but I always just run the whole thing, check all of them. You never know. Bitcoin and Veritas both hide like underneath the pillows there, so it's really hard to see them sometimes. And then after that, I like to check these back corner buildings behind Beluga before I move on to mail. And I think I showed this before, but you can just vault over these now. So in this first back office, there's a couple rare spawns. Right here on the paper in the corner, it like sits under it a lot of the times. Only a couple of them stick out over it. And then back here on that left corner that I just looked at, right around that corner. And then in this office, there's intel spawns on the table, and I think there's like a barter item spawn in there too. I've seen like green bats on the table before. And then this second floor room 4, you check the jacket. There's a tech spawn on the table there, and then on the floor in here, and then I always check the toolbox just cause. And then this room, there's a rare spawn on top of the suitcase. I've got like pro kills and statues and stuff. I don't think I've ever seen a Bitcoin. And there's tech spawn right there. That PCB was on the floor as well. I've seen a GPU there twice this wipe already. On this floor, there's like whatever spawn in there. There's a tech spawn on the table right here. You see PCB. I've seen one GPU that's a wipe there. In here, you just check the table and the back counter for moonshine. And then on the floor and those two shelves right there, there's rares. And then there's tech spawns on the floor where that broken LCD was. And then on my way to mail here, before I check Golden World, I even stop in here a lot of the time. Especially if I haven't heard any noise. And I'll just check the safe really quick on my way through. Okay. It's not that bad. Sometimes it's pretty bad, but it blessed us today. Intels are like over 300k at this point in the wipe, so those are really worth it. So of course before you hit mail, you always gotta check Golden World too. On all of those little platforms there can be loot right here on the ground. There's actually a lot of ground spots in here, so I'd advise if you really don't know all of them yet, you just kind of hover loot around, but I know the general areas to look for, and I just hover and look for the dots pretty much. And then you just check all these platforms, and then you can move on. To get to mail, you can go all the way to the corner, but I usually just cut through the pharmacy, because there's a dead scav room in here that has rare spawns in it as well. Once you're in here, these shelves have a lot of, like, mechanical spawns on them. There can be thermite and pump gauge, I guess, and also dry fuel, which are worth like 30k now. Rare spawns right there, and in the box right here. Those can both be Bitcoins. And then also between the dead scav and the box here, there can also be another spawn that can spawn a Bitcoin. And then because I got this small slotted rig in my bag with a lot of extra space, and the raid sounds pretty dead, I'm probably going to go start hitting drawers on my way through everything as well. And then once I'm in mail, I usually like to go up first to the oven room. There's tech spawns on here like I showed before. It's a little G-phone. And then you just kind of go up, hit the dead scav, and go up and loot. I think I'm going to skip over it, but later on in the video, I'll show you more about what I'm looking for when I'm looting drawers, especially this late in wipe. It really does change. There's a website you can use. I might link it in the description here, but it's pretty much just you look up Tarkov Market, and it'll be probably one of the first results. And you can just look up any item in the game, and it's a pretty consistent, updated website that keeps track of the market, so that if you're in raid and you need to price check something quick that you haven't looked at in a while, you can. But like I said, later in the video, I'll go over pretty much what you're looking for from drawers from here on out in the wipe. Now that we're in the oven room, you're looking at that book in this drawer and on the chair here for those rare spawns. And then also, like I said before, in the oven, next to the oven where this rooster is. And then I normally like to come down to the pig room. Here in the doorway, there's a spawn there. That can be Bitcoin. But a lot of the times it's something bigger that you can actually see. You don't have to stick your face in there to find it. I usually like to drop my extra mags this late in the scav raid. Also on the table here, and right there behind the pigs there's a rare spawn. Like I was saying, I usually like to drop my mags if it's looking pretty dead in a raid, because I'm not really expecting to fight people, and your main goal is just to get loot and get out. You're probably not going to fight a PMC. Especially not with 20 minutes left in the raid if you haven't seen one this far, or heard one. So then after that, you're going to run through here. Sometimes you check the table for, like, I think there's food spawns and stuff. I've seen moonshine there before, but you just jiggle peek this. Sometimes people like to camp in there, and then you check the box here. We get a little skull today. And then with GPUs over 700k now, you really can't miss an opportunity to check a PC on your way through, no matter where you're going. Coming up on the check building now. I'm pretty sure this is also not going to be looted, because I just haven't heard anything over here on this side of the map at all this whole raid. Yeah, the rare spawns here, it's probably going to be completely dead. I'm probably going to have to start dropping a little bit of the less valuable stuff. Stuff like these cords and the CMS are really not going to go for that much. Then in here you've got the rare spawn in the suitcase. And then here's that tech spawn on the tables, that motor. Those are going for over 100k now still, so I auto pick those up over a rooster any day of the week. Rare spawn on that box on the bottom shelf there as well, and on the table with a magazine on it that I checked really quick there. Rare spawns in the book here and on the shelf. And then always check your PCs, of course. Rare spawn on the magazine and on that shelf right there, the open one. And then I would just kind of scan here for moonshine, sugar, anything I can look for. Yep. Sugars are probably going to go for 30-40k by the end of this week. I've seen them over 50 like at really dead times, but this box that I just showed there also has tech spawns in it. I've seen like 1 GPU there ever though, so sometimes I just don't check it. Then back here I usually do just check this med box as well for a LEDX spawn potentially. And I just went up here really quick to check the iron gate spawn since it's locked anyways. We just check this one really quick, the free one, and then we back up and get out of here. Normally I'd go and check this room to the left of that doorway really quick just to go check for the tech spawns in there, but I heard a little something over here that I want to investigate, so we're just going to move on. I'm going to cover Matt in a different video probably because he said that he looted all that, but the scav that I talked to back there said he also looted Concordia, but this door's shut, so he might not have checked everything here. There's like a LEDX spawn on the bottom of that shelf there. Maybe we'll go check out the rest of Concordia, but he said he looted it, so I just kind of trusted him and didn't loot med, so I'll have to show that later in the video, but there's a handful of spawns inside of that building. I definitely showed him in a different video before this one though. There's a rare spawn, like, on either side of either of those beanbags. There's one in between them and then one on either side on that shelf that I just took a peek at really quick. But usually you can see anything that's there, even if it's a Bitcoin. Then I checked that PC, and then right there on the floor in the suitcase, and then as well on that shelf in that shoebox, there's rare spawns. Somebody's already looted those, but they're key rooms, so I don't really need to cover those, I guess. But this room has tech spawns right here on the floor. There's a handful of them there. I've seen a couple tech items before. I've seen 1 GPU there, a handful of motors. Definitely worth checking this room because it's got a PC block too to check. So that guy looted everything pretty well. In that suitcase, in that book, there's 2 rare spawns. The book that's on the desk that I just peeked at. I'm not really going to worry too much about this. I'm probably just going to get out of this raid. This dude really did loot everything. Except for this room. I got 2 free duffel bags, I guess. Whatever PMC came through here with every single key in the area just cleared everything out. So there's really nothing left here. He even got all the free spawns, which is just how it is a lot of these scav raids. You just kind of get what you can get. A lot of your loot is going to come from these duffel bags and drawers that are dropping loot. Like, water filters are going to start going up soon, too. Those were like 100k last wipe. They'll probably be up over 50k here very soon. With everything I got on me between, like, the intel and the skulls and the motor and whatever other rares I got, this is definitely over a mil. Which is something you love to see on the second raid, but I wouldn't be surprised if it starts dropping off from this unless I'm getting out full every single raid. Alright, we dumped that inventory and went to a full day of work, and we're back, and we got a Bitcoin in the chamber. This should be number 75. Yes, sir. Getting out with another little haul here. Got a mid-sized bag, mid-sized rig, so I figure we just pick up all these statues we found and get out. One of the things that really helps your profit in these scav runs is when you get like over 4 or 5 scav reps, you start a lot of your scav runs with like these lab cards in it, or like a good key sometimes. I think a video or 2 ago I got that check 13 key. It really does help if you want to scav run a lot for profit if you get your rep up as high as possible before you start doing it by doing the VX extracts all over the maps. Started out this run with a red flare, and I don't normally pop them in raid if I don't have a lot of space, but we found some guys dead with his bag out, so we picked up his bag and went and looted the red flare real quick. All's probably close to 500k here. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, man. You can get your scav rep up, and I'm starting every raid with like 100 to 200k worth of stuff in my inventory already. This raid was absolutely picked clean, and I saw like 7 other player scavs as well, so there was really no chance I was filling this bag up. But even still, with the labs card and the keys that I found and the fuel and the stems, this is at least 300, 400k. Ooh, first one of the video right here. I'm gonna have to clear space for it. Shit. I got absolutely loaded this raid. Mail and check and med were all completely unlooted. I got every single spot on the map pretty much. It was a nutty one. But we get this freebie as well. Love to see it. I'm pretty sure that's the first Bitcoin I've found since I started doing scav runs. That is insane. I've been checking rare spawns every single spawn for like a day and a half now. Probably just gonna send a handful more raids like this, and then I want to try running like full-on profit runs without prioritizing gold spawns if I can. See what I can pull from those too, because I'm pretty sure it'll be a little bit more than when I just check these and exit, but every once in a while you do get one of those raids where you do get all the spawns and you get absolutely juiced. This is at least 1.5 to 2 mil. The first actually found in raid Bitcoin of the week is gonna be number 76. Mail only had like 2 spawns in it. Besides that, there was nothing. So this one's got a lot of drawer loot. We're still popping like 500-600k though. And after that last run, this box is just about full. So we're going to sort this up. I'm going to sell off this and all the stuff below it that I've been keeping in the inventory as well that can't go in a box. And we're going to see what we pulled just from looking for rare spawns before we check drawers. And not really prioritizing profit as much as looking for the rare spawns. Alright, I'm not going to wait for this key that already got undercut to sell. We're just going to go ahead and collect it right now. It's just so beautiful. So much cash all the time. Be just under 10 mil. Yeah, right over, just under 8.5 I guess, from 2 days of scaving. So from here on out, I'm probably going to look to maximize profit as much as I can, regardless of whether or not I'm looking for the rare spawns. Definitely going to check them if they're on the route, but my main motive every single run from now on is just going to be maximizing the value per slot of my inventory. Which might mean, you know, if I have a smaller bag, I'm just checking rare and tech spawns and leaving. Or if I've got a big bag or a rig with a lot of 1 or 2 slots in it, then I check drawers and I leave with, you know, 1 to 2 mil if that's even possible per raid. Oh my. This has gotta be the smallest bag and rig combo I've had this entire wipe. This is fucking unreal. I bet you we still pull like 300k at least of this raid. I'm not getting out without my fucking money. So this is one of the rotations I like to do to get out of med when I got someone coming at me from check, which there's someone on the outside of the gate just kind of pinning me down. So you get up here and you start your sprint into the crate and then turn while you hold that sprint, because sometimes you don't get the sprint up all the way. And then you just jump over that ledge there. If you don't jump while you're sprinting, you walk jump and then you just land on mines right below you, so it's not that great. Power of the drawers is real, man. I told you, we checked a bunch of rare spawns, but for the most part, all this loot is from drawers. This has got to be at least like 600k. This map was absolutely picked clean, man. All the drawers in mail and med and check were all looted. Even the ones in the suitcase room in check were looted, so this is only like 200k. Alright. Yeah, we're keeping that HF on. This raid is probably going to get cut short again. I probably am not going to go loot that hard because I really want to get samples done, even though I'm just scavenging this week. Pretty much just looted check and med and Concordia and got out with a couple of rare spawns, but HF1M is going to let me finish my samples as well, so it's worth like a 200k. Turn this bad boy in, should give us completion of samples and care group employee. Love to see it. Also, funny story, in last week's video, I stole that dude's key off Kaban when they let me come in and kill him, because I asked him to use it for the quest, and I went in and I got the digital storage device off the car dealership manager's office in Streets of Tarkov, and then I didn't turn it in and died, so I just stole like 2 mil worth of key loot from that guy and didn't even do the quest. That is so crazy. Dude, if you're watching, apologies, I guess. My bad. Managed to find a fat ass armored rig on a dead PMC as well as a bunch of other stuff, so we're getting out with looks like, I don't know, 900k worth of loot. Probably over a mil if you count the value of the rig, but I'm going to keep that for future use. Went to work after that last one, and we are pulling another Bitcoin from the farm here. So this should be number 77. This is what I'm saying, man. It's another scav run with the red flare and the labs access card off spawn. That's just a free 150k plus whatever you get from the red flare every single raid if you have 5+ scav rep. That's another full run done. Lots of drawers checked. You see, like, these ESLMs are over 20k and a bunch of other stuff in my inventory is all like 20-30k each. This is definitely another 500k run. Oh, please let this be a bigger rig. Oh, You absolutely love to see it. This is probably going to be one of those drawer runs then. I got these two CPU fans. I pretty much just checked computers and drawers and mail and then dipped, but we're going to start hitting drawers if that's the case. I am absolutely juiced on space here. So from these drawers, we picked up a S diary, the Conk 34 key, and that ES lamp we just picked up. Beautiful. Which means that's 90k from just looking at drawers for a minute, and then we move on to Golden World here, and then we're going to go across the street and pick up the drawers over there. The Moreau statue here is going to be 60k. Alright, after that Marin key, all we got out of those ones was the Conk office and the Marin key, which is, you know, 100k total, but that's 5 whole stacks of drawers, and all I got was 2 items. That's kind of unlucky, so we move on to the next building. There's another 3 stacks of drawers in here, and then we're going to go check out Beluga before we leave. All we got out of these ones was the Beluga key and the machine parts, which doesn't really seem like much, but when you realize that we just paid 250k from hitting drawers in 3 buildings and walking on our way without having to fight anyone for the loot, you really realize how much money you're making from these drawers over time. What do we have here? Heard a little bit of shots over here. Looks like we might get some free gear here too on our way out of the raid. Got ourselves a little backpack upgrade, some headphones, and a slender mask, which not very expensive, but we love the drip. And looks like Beluga's looted, so key find is nice because it's still another like 40k, but could have got a little bit more profit if it wasn't opened already. Even the couch cushions are empty, man. This raid is not blessed. Gonna loot these 2 groupers on the stairs on the way out as well. First guy had the helmet and the headphones upgrade, and this guy's got the little RD for us. Naked Man paid out too, we love that. He's probably the guy that had the mags that we found on the floor down there. Another victim in the streets. There was an absolute brawl over here, and he's got a black for me as well. So I take the run upgrade too. I don't know what we take from this. At least we get a backpack upgrade in the midst of it too. Might be able to fit the Corona Black Rock in here now. Alright, we picked him clean. We can probably get out of here now. We are heavy as a motherfucker though. Getting out over 55 keys on a scav is crazy. We're also up. This looks like 700k plus the gear. Probably over $1 million value. We love to see it. I'm not a little bit into this scav raid. I didn't hit record earlier, but we're already up to like 400k worth of stuff. All we do is hit these filing cabinets and loot this Rolex off of that spawn in the back corner behind Beluga. So now we're going to hit the filing cabinets here in Biddy before we move on and loot the ones behind Check and Dead Scav building. I'll show you the way there. Alright. Looks like these drawers are going to pay out 90k unless this one's got something for me. Just 90k from hitting these, and then we move on to Golden World. Now that we're in this Dead Scav building, I usually like to hit these PC blocks really quick before I go and check the drawers in the back. After you hit that duffel bag right there, you just close these 2 drawers and run through these really quick as well. It's another 12 drawers to check through. That's another 200k from these drawers. I'm going to pick up the negotiation key, see if we have time we can run through back there and check if that one's looted as well. So it looks like those doors are open. Negotiation is looted, so we're just going to drop this key once we get back in here. So in between that Dead Scav building, there's this X-ray building right here, which upstairs is the X-ray room key, but in here there's 4 filing cabinets, and then upstairs there's another 8. Just from those 4 we pulled the Concordia security key, which is running like 45k right now from Therapist. Since I have the X-ray key, we're going to come check this bad boy really quick. There's 4 more cabinets in there as well as some med spawns. I've seen like 1 Lennox in here so far, but it's a really rare spawn. It's pretty much just meds and drawers. A green bet we pulled another 90k. We're gonna go hit the office that has the 8 more drawers in it right here, and then we're gonna move on. Didn't really get anything worthwhile. I'm just gonna drop that map even. It's only 30k, and we got a lot more drawers to hit here. We're gonna drop other stuff that isn't really as valuable if we find some good stuff in there on the way through. In this stairwell here, there's this dead scav and PC I always hit before I get to the next set of drawers as well, and PCs. Ooh, and we get the rig upgrade. We get to really fill this bad boy out on the way out here. I'm pretty sure we've got, what is it, 2, 3, 4 stacks of drawers and like 5 PC blocks and a couple duffel bags to hit still. Yeah, never mind. Another little loot goblin just like myself cleared out this entire bottom floor here. I don't know why nothing else around here wasn't looted, but he definitely got that floor. That's for sure. That shit was absolutely cleared. We got Kinskaya art, so I'm probably just gonna dip out of the raid here. This one is probably like 1.1, 1.2 mil, I'd say. Plus the gear, maybe 1.3, even if we sell it all off, we'll see. After a full depot, that sold for 110k as well, that's crazy. Definitely edging on 1.3 this run. Alright, drawers seem like they're not that cleared out, so this seems like a good time to run over pretty much all the items you're looking for from drawers when you're running through streets. First of all, pretty much all the keys that you can get, except for a handful of them are good. So there's the relaxation room key, which I've actually only gotten out of the drawer once so far this wipe. The finance and finance south keys both sell for a decent amount. Obviously the Lexos key is gonna go for like the 30k auto sell. There's a lot of like random ones like store supply, negotiation, REA, MVD, those ones are all bad. But like Iron Gate, obviously the Mark keys are good. Anything in check, so check and Iron Gate are good. Any Concordia key is going to be at least 20k, but a lot of them auto sell for even more than that. The Pinewood keys are usually garbage. Early wipe they can sell for a lot just because people buy them for the quest, but I'm pretty sure one of them is already unlocked anyways and people still buy it. The Primorsky and the ZM keys are all bad. There's the Cinema key, which is also another Concordia key. Concordia 34 is 63. The Beluga key is like a 40k auto sell. Another one, the Check 13 is another mark key that you can get from drawers. I've had one as well. The Rusted key is one that you really want to look for. I'm pretty sure you can get it off of scavs and drawers, but it might only be scavs. And then Tar Bank and X-Ray are also automatic 45k auto sells. Also, for some reason, for the last couple wipes, I don't know if it's intended or not, but you can get the Dorms 114 and the Director's key for customs. I've also seen a couple other customs keys, but those two are really valuable. This latent wipe, they're not as valuable, but like first week, first 2 to 3 weeks even, like Dorms 114 is 300k and Directors is 1 to 300k depending on how early in the wipe it is. And then beyond just keys, you know, obviously there's intel folders that you can pick up. The labs access cards, those are definitely 2 auto pickups whenever you see them. Any currency, if you have room to stack it, you know, you can stack and just see if you get enough to make it worth holding in that one slot. Right now, power cords and working LCDs are both like 30 to 40k cells, so they're not bad for a 2-slotter, but you can definitely maximize your slots if you have time to be picky and look for more loot. There's these machine parts that I've been picking up here in my inventory right now. Those are selling for like 30k on the market now. You really gotta eyeball those, but a lot of people must be upgrading to their thick weapon cases because you need like 15 of those or 10 of those or whatever every time you do it. And then there's all the Peacekeeper cells like diaries, slim diaries, MFDs, SAS drives, regular flash drives, SSDs and SMTs, any of those computer parts you can get out of here. Those also sell for like 30 to 50k depending on which ones they are, like the SMTs will go for higher. And then beyond those there's also like keg tape, cookbook, the pass, the cassette tape, the GPX, the green bat, Tetris, 1G phone, any of those barter items that'll also go for a lot, or any of those streamer items. And then a couple honorable mentions for early wipe if you're watching this next wipe for some reason. Literally anything. Bro, you hit a drawer, you get a loot every single time. Anything that's in the drawer is worth picking up early wipe if you're looking for money. There's like, I mean, especially the stuff like the topographical survey maps will sell for a lot more. Right now they just like sell for 30k, but early wipe they go for like over 100k for a 2-slotter. It's crazy. And then look, I guess there's light bulbs and blue tapes are really a common high volume item that need to go early wipe, so those are all like 40-50k even sometimes early wipe, so keep an eye out for light bulbs and blue tape. And by this point, I mean, I'm almost 350k probably. I think rat poison's like 30k, pass is like 20 something, the diary is like 20 something, slim diary is 30, SMT is like 50, SAS is like 50, all these other items on my inventory are like 30. We're definitely nearing 350. I wouldn't be surprised if we can fill up the rest of these slots, get up to like almost 400k before we leave here, and that's just from hitting the drawers in med camp. This building, yeah, that's another 30k. This building has a bunch of rare spawns in it, but on top of that, it's got, what is it, 10 drawer stacks? So it's 40 drawers to hit, and each one of these drawers has a potential to have just untold riches in them. It's definitely worth it anytime you're scavenging. If you come in here, even if you don't get the rare spawns, you just peek through all the drawers. If you're trying to get money, this is the place to get it. We just went through and hit check and mail too, and then we zooped around and hit some drawers behind us in the dead scav building again, and we're getting out of here with what I'm imagining is just over 600k. We got a lot of 30, 40, 50k items in our inventory, and we upgraded the backpack too. That's just a juicer from hitting drawers again. You spawn with a labs card and we got the intel out of a drawer. That's another free 6, 7, maybe even 800k from this run. Found both these labs cards and a green bat in the drawers plus all the rares I got. This one's probably 800k. Went to bed after that one and woke up to a shiny new Bitcoin. This should be number 78 right here. Yes, sir. Got a little bit lucky getting through med before someone else did, but looks like this one's probably going to be close to 700k, I'd say. 2 Tetris, 2 labs cards, and an intel out of pretty much just the drawers of the population census building. That one is absolutely ripe with drawers as well. It's probably just under 800k. Alright, box is full. I think we're gonna empty this bad boy out and sell off everything down here. And then we're gonna see where we're at after just checking drawers for 2 days instead of hunting rare spawns. Alright, it's been almost a half hour since that. We love to see that. I think I already accidentally collected once, but it is what it is. We are just under 20 mil. I might go send another scav. I really want to hit that. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna send a scav. We'll be right back after I depot all my moolah. Alright. Game loves me. Spawn with a labs card. We only need 300, like 20 more K with that diary too. I think we're pretty comfortably over 500k with the haul I got here. Oh yeah. Alright, that should be 20 mil in the bag once we get this sold off from just a week of scav. Okay. Broke 20 mil. So that was 2 days of just rare hunting and 2 days of hitting rare, but also hitting every single drawer along the way. I think we ended the rare hunting with like 8 mil after 2 days, so I don't know if I just got a little bit luckier, but I'm pretty sure I was right in the first place, and the drawers absolutely paid off. We're also going to finish off here with the 78 Bitcoin at the end of the week, which, I mean, you saw, I got 1 from Scaving. So I was pretty much right on that too. It's not a great way to hunt specific items, but if you need money, you scav streets and hit drawers and you will get absolutely juiced. You'll be able to get whatever you want off the market. So unless you're a freak like me that's only hunting Bitcoin, need to be found in raid, you're good to go. And I'm pretty confident with where I'm at with thick cases now. I don't really think I'm going to need any more storage than this for the rest of wipe, so obviously the next thing you do once you get 20 mil is spend it on drip. If you're still watching this late in the video, thanks man. I really appreciate anyone who's willing to put 20-30 minutes of their life into just watching some bullshit I put on the internet. Appreciate you. Next week's video, I pray to God, has no scaving in it unless I get completely broke. The plan's going to be a little bit interesting. You're not going to want to miss it, so subscribe. It'll be up in about a week from this upload as well. See ya.